What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is the don'ts of visiting the USA by Walter's World. His link will be in the description if you want to go and check his channel out. This is a pretty good one for us to do, at least, because I did it like 9 or 10 months ago. I don't remember the content fully, and we are planning on going to the US at some point, aren't we?
Yeah, we want to make our way around.
Definitely. If not this year, maybe the year after. Again, prices, they're pretty skyrocketing, aren't they, after COVID?
We've got to see what happens with COVID as well, I think.
Yeah, we're not made of money, but if you want to help out with that, the Patreon is in the description. We might as well have a shameless plug there. But yeah, so we are planning on, hopefully, in the next couple of years at least, coming over to the US. We don't know where. So this is going to be pretty much a reminder of what you shouldn't do when we're visiting the USA, because, you know, different cultures, different backgrounds, and we want to be as respectful as possible, don't we?
Let's hope we didn't do any of these.
Yeah, exactly. There is also, we went to New York, obviously, like 3 years ago now.
Yeah, I think it'll be 3 years in February.
3 years in February, so just to make sure that we weren't rude, because we don't want to be at the end of the day. So yeah, smash that like button, would really appreciate it. Smash that subscribe button as well, you absolute legends. And let us know what other videos you want us to react to in the comments, and if there is any other don'ts, like what you've picked up on, which potentially foreigners do, which is quite rude, which isn't mentioned in this video. Let us know in the comments, guys, and let's get straight into it.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in Mystic, Connecticut, in a beautiful place here in the U.S. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting the U.S. because anywhere you go in the world, there's things you should do, but there's also things you shouldn't do. And this video is going to just cover the U.S. in general, okay? And our first don't for when you visit the U.S. is don't touch the Americans. Look, Americans really like their personal space. It's like they have a bubble around them, and if you get too close to them, they feel very, 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 very uncomfortable. Okay?
That's fair enough, but I feel like when we went to New York, like the people that were like handing things out, they were like right up close to us.
That is a very good point,
so
but I kind
is
of
it like,
I see what you mean with that, to be fair.
Is it like maybe if you're in like, I don't know, a state that's not so touristy, popular?
I think that is the
Times
difference.
Square is
it is
everybody.
touristy, and you've got the people trying to take advantage of tourists, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did come up to us. They were like just in our face a bit, weren't they? I think.
Yeah, but I think that's just for people trying to... Again, let us know in the comments, but I think that is just for people trying to make money in a touristy place. I feel like if you went to somewhere random in Texas or somewhere like that...
You wouldn't go up to someone's face.
You wouldn't just go up to someone and give them some respect or give them a high five or something like that. You kind of just stay away, be polite from a distance, if that makes sense. So I think New York is a little bit different. But again, let us know in the comments. We'd appreciate that, because we haven't been anywhere else, have we? So we can't judge it.
Okay, so make sure you give them a little distance when you are there, you know, because I know when I go to Italy and Spain and stuff, we're like, Mark, how's it going? All this stuff. And my American...
On that, we won't pause too much, but it is definitely more of a French, Italian kind of thing to give you your kisses when you greet and stuff like that.
Well, my grandparents are French, and it's always 2 kisses.
It's always 2 kisses on the cheeks. So again, it doesn't really apply to us, I guess, this one, because we're quite spacious anyway. But it is definitely a foreign, Western kind of thing with Italy, France and all that.
Definitely.
Friends sometimes go, wow, they're really, really affectionate. Like, that's just how it is. Here, space is key. The second don't I have for you is don't count on public transportation. Look, when we were in China and we were throughout Europe and South America, we took buses and trains and planes and all kinds of stuff to get all over the place because public transport is really developed. Here in the U.S., you cannot count on public transport to get you a lot of places. Yes, in big cities like New York and Chicago and stuff like that, you can get around with public transport and it will take you where you want to go. But a lot of towns, small towns especially, in middle-sized cities, the public transportation networks are not very good. And at night, sometimes it's not very safe. So that is kind of a frustrating thing. So yes, you're going to probably have to rent a car when you come here, okay? So just have a heads up for that. And that kind of leads into the next don't I have for you is don't underestimate the size of the U.S. The United States, continental U.S. is like continental Europe. It's huge. I mean, would you think of driving from, I'm going to do, from Lisbon to Paris and then go up to Tallinn and then head down to Sofia? No, you're like, that is insanely far. It's the same thing when you come to the U.S. I mean, a lot of travelers that are like, I'm going to...
All the time I'm like, should we go on a road trip? How many states can we do?
Definitely. I mean, that's something I've tried to get across to you, hasn't it? Like,
I can't do it in a week.
When we've planned it, you've been like, we could visit quite a few different states. I'm like, no. Once we do these reaction videos, you will realise you'll struggle to do a whole state in a 3-week holiday, never mind go in between. So, yeah, it's absolutely massive, and we will do more videos on it.
fly into New York, grab a car, drive down to Miami to see Miami Beach, and then head over to LA. I'm like, dude,
so me.
you got 2 weeks? You're going to spend the entire time in cars. The distances here are insane. So what I recommend is picking a region. So, we're going to stay here in New England and see New England. Or we're going to go in the southeast, go to Atlanta and Savannah and Charleston, things like that. Or visit the West Coast. You do that to get a better idea of the culture there and things like that. But also, it's just the logistics things because it's so far between the places. And to go along with that, for Americans, a 3 to 4 hour drive, that's a day trip. Like my parents live 3 hours away. I will literally get up, go drive, have lunch with my mom, and then drive back home just for lunch. 6 hours in the car. No big deal. It's about 7 hours when we start to think, that kind of is a long drive. And we drive the entire way through. Okay.
Especially in Jersey. Jersey's a tiny island. Like anything over 20 minutes is
But if you're spending 20 minutes just mainly in traffic, aren't you?
Oh yeah,
you
definitely.
can get around. If there's no traffic, easy from the end.
You'd really struggle to be driving over an hour in Jersey, like proper struggle. It'd have to be mega traffic.
Okay, this isn't like, I must stop every 2 hours and have a 15-minute break. Oh, no. No. We drive all the way through, okay? Now, my next don't for you when you come here is don't think that the sticker price is the end price. Look, in the U.S. we have sales tax. I know other countries, they have VAT, value-added taxes. They're already put into the price of products. Yeah. So when you see, it's $1 or €1, I only pay €1. In the U.S., it is not like that. We have sales tax, so a certain percentage is added onto that product. And the thing is, I cannot tell you what the sales tax will be where you're going to travel because it's different everywhere.
I just like to know
cities,
the final
states, counties, different products have different sales taxes, and some products don't have sales taxes. Some cities don't have sales taxes. Some have 10% sales tax. It can be different anywhere you go. So if you're going to go get your dollar menu item at a McDonald's or a Culver's or a wherever, it's not going to be $1. Where I live, there's 2 cities right by where I live. One, it's going to be $1.08. The other one, it's going to be $1.09. So be ready for that. And it's not just the sales tax. Also, there could be the tipping on top. And that leads us into the 5th don't, and that is don't forget to tip. Look, in the U.S., you tip 15 to 20% at a sit-down restaurant, okay?
I know we have gone over tipping already, but we did get comments in the last video of people, because I think I said you feel like it's mandatory in the US. I did get comments say it isn't actually mandatory.
It isn't, but it's more. It feels more mandatory than in the UK.
Especially for at least, let's say, a foreigner go into there. It just feels so rude not to use your etiquette and stuff like that. And they did highlight that I think this video potentially does highlight it, that they do get paid a lot less in the US.
Yes, I think I read a comment saying that they count on the tips to pay the
definitely
bills.
It's pretty much for
wages.
wages.
When you hear that, it makes you feel like
kind of have to do it.
You feel bad.
Definitely, but it is. We know it's not mandatory, but we kind of feel like we have to, which isn't a bad thing because we like to do it anyway, don't we?
Now, McDonald's, stuff like that, no, you don't tip at a fast food place, but it's a sit-down restaurant where they bring you your food and stuff like that, you will tip them 15 to 20%. If you are in a group of 6 people or more, sometimes they automatically put the gratuity on there, which sometimes can be 18% or something like that. Look, when you come to the U.S., there's a reason why the food is like so affordable. You're like, wow, it's cheap to go out and eat in the U.S. It's because there's kind of this understanding that the service fees and paying for the workers and the waitresses and stuff like that, that goes on to you, the person eating there, with the tips. So the food and stuff can be cheaper when you go out to eat. And I know a lot of people say, I don't believe in tipping and this tipping isn't the right thing. They should pay their people more. Well, if you want to pay more for your food, they can do that. But they don't, okay? So tipping is something we do here in the U.S., so do tip that 15 to 20%. Oh, also, if you're at a bar and you're buying drinks, you're going to want to tip a couple dollars here and there. Otherwise, the bartender might not be too quick to come back and get you your next drink.
That's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So following off of those tips, what you need to realize is our next don't be freaked out by the over-the-top service and free stuff you sometimes get in the U.S. Look, because of tipping and commissions and stuff like that, yes, there is a lot of over-the-top service here. But the thing is, in the U.S., the people actually are pretty nice, and they want to help people. And sometimes for some travelers, they come from countries where people don't get a lot of service.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you could ask anyone, really, couldn't you?
Yeah, and they just
wanted to help you,
good advice.
which was awesome, to be fair, for us.
But sometimes it can be a bit much, so don't freak out about it. Also with that is don't be freaked out with some of the free stuff you get when you go to restaurants. Look, if you go to a restaurant and they bring you bread and water or chips and salsa and all those really good things, that's included in your meal. Okay, so if you're going to be buying something, they're going to give you some free stuff. It might be some bread, it might be a salad, it might be a water, it might be something like that. So don't be like shocked when like, wait, I didn't order this bread, I didn't order this salad. Oh no, that comes with your meal. Okay. Now the thing is though, you can't just go in and get chips and salsa and walk out. All right, you actually have to order some food when you go there. Now my next don't for you is don't smoke cigarettes in the U.S. If you're smoking cigarettes in the U.S., people will look at you like you're trying to kill their baby. Cigarettes is like totally verboten, like people really frown upon it, which is funny because when they talk about marijuana and stuff like that, people don't seem to care as much, but cigarettes, oh, you're trying to kill my baby with that cigarette 2 blocks away. So if you do...
I can't remember what the comments were about this one, but I think it was very divided, and I feel like it is where you're from. Because I feel like cigarettes are accepted over there, and you can get them at any age pretty much and stuff like that, and they do have them.
Yeah.
I think it's just what town you're in, to be fair. And
Right.
I think I did get quite a few comments about that when I last reacted to this.
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head. It was, like I said, it was about 10 months
Yeah.
ago. But I don't think it is as strange as what he's making out.
Right.
At least I don't think. Let me know in the comments again, and we will remember it this time. There's 2 of us to remember.
you smoke, make sure you try to find a place where you can smoke, because a lot of restaurants, or pretty much all restaurants, hotels, stuff like that, have smoke-free. It's smoke-free.
Oh, definitely not
Go
indoors.
like 15 to
I
20
think it's
feet
illegal,
away
isn't
from
it,
doing
smoke
things.
indoors in a public place.
Yeah, it's illegal to do it indoors for us.
It's
And
illegal to smoke in a car with children under 18.
Yeah.
So I think we've got the laws. I feel like if you see someone in the street, you don't just go about your day, don't you?
exactly,
just
you don't think
keep
about it,
to
do you?
them, yeah.
If I suppose if you're worried about your kid inhaling the smoke,
Just
you just
move
move
them away.
move a little bit.
Yeah, that's
But,
British people, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's one of them. Don't do it indoors. Again, let us know. Is it illegal to do it indoors then? Because maybe he's making out it's not illegal to do it indoors.
No, maybe it's not. It is definitely illegal for us.
It
to
is.
smoke
Oh yeah, for us
indoors,
it 100% is. But let us know in the comments, guys.
So that can be something. So I've come here outside my favorite liquor store to give you the next don't. And that is, don't try to buy alcohol unless you're 21, or cigarettes unless you're 18 or over in the U.S. They will not sell them to you.
I think it's
and the
crazy
thing
that
is,
their age
don't
is 21.
forget your ID, because if you
Super
look
high,
like
innit?
you're 40 or under, they may ask you for that. And don't get mad at them, because if they don't ask, they could get in trouble and get fined. So
I
don't be
respect that.
surprised, because we've had friends that have come here, try to buy alcohol, and they're like, sorry, you don't look old enough. Oh, I don't have my ID. Too bad. And the thing is, it's not just the person buying. They might ask anybody with you, so make sure everybody has their ID if they want to buy
Yeah,
liquor.
we have that as well,
If they
don't
want
we?
to buy, well, they want to buy alcohol, or if they want to buy cigarettes. So just FYI on that one. Oh, that's also another don't I have for you is, don't bother with a metric system when you come here. We don't use meters, we don't use kilometers, we don't use liters. It is inches, feet, miles, gallons, pounds,
Confusing,
things
isn't it?
like
I've
that.
just got my head
And I'll put a
around
conversion
the-
chart here
the
to show you.
basic
Honestly,
one.
you might say, hey, how far is it to this next town? And they'll tell you, oh, it's like 60 miles. You're like, what's that? Just know 60 miles, it's about 100 kilometers, okay? So just do that, because the people here
I measure
won't
in
get it. I
hours.
mean, I have people,
Just tell me
and
how
I'll tell
many
them, oh, it's
hours
100
away it is.
meters.
Miles per hour.
Yeah.
No, yeah. We use miles. Again, kilometers is more of talking about like France and stuff like that. They use kilometers, which is again confusing to us. But obviously we use the meters and stuff like that. So we kind of cross a little bit, but we
Yeah.
do use miles, not kilometers.
Away, like 100 meters, it's like 100 yards. Oh, okay. So make sure you do know your imperial system, okay? Because metric, we don't do that so much here. So our next don't is, when you do come to the U.S., there's a couple things you don't talk about, okay? One is gun control, and 2 is politics,
Definitely
because
not.
no matter where
We're
you
gonna
are,
get into it.
you will get people on either side of the spectrum, and they will have an argument with you. So it's best just to lay off those topics, talk about the weather. Oh, wouldn't it be nicer if it was sunny today and we could go sailing? Yes, that would be much better than discussing gun control or politics. Just putting that one out there for you right now. Now, my next don't for you is, don't assume that all the U.S. and all the Americans are the same. Because I know a lot of people say, oh, you're a typical American. Well, it's like saying you're a typical European. Look, the U.S. has all kinds of different cultures, all kinds of different people, all kinds of different topography and scenery and stuff like that. And when you come here,
Stunning,
don't
isn't it?
assume it's all the same. You will see regional differences in cuisines and how people treat each other, and how everything looks, all kinds of stuff. So don't just think there's just one kind of American. They're all fat, slobby guys with ponytails. No, there's actually a lot of skinny people in America too. Not
Well, British guys are all
They
bold.
always say that we just drink tea all day and love the Queen, and we're all live in London.
And we've all got bad teeth, apparently.
Yeah.
So, it's one of it. It's
You
stereotype.
yeah,
It's definitely stereotype.
You just do it, but you don't mean harm.
It's like British people on holidays, normally a fat bald guy with a bulldog tattoo or an England tattoo or something like in an England shirt. It's just a stereotype, isn't it? But the US is so cultured. It is insane.
Not just fat guys like me and my buddy Jeff.
Poor Jeff.
I know. What did
They're
Jeff
all
ever do
those.
to
So
him?
don't assume it's all the same, all right? So do go out and explore. And that's why I always say is if you're going to come to the U.S., go and explore different regions because you'll get a really different feel. Because going to the southeast and seeing the plantation homes and going to see the southern towns down there versus going to the northwest and Seattle and Portland or going to San Francisco or going to the Midwest with Chicago and Milwaukee, you're going to have a very different feel, which is really a cool thing to do. And you start to understand is, wow, the U.S. does have a lot of different cultures within it, a lot of different feelings when you go around here. And following on with that, I guess I would say another don't assume there's no culture in the U.S. because there are a lot of cultural centers out there. If you go down to New Orleans, you see a very rich culture there. You go to New York or Boston, here in New England, you have a very distinct culture. In the Midwest with Chicago, Milwaukee, you go to the West Coast. I mean, there's a lot of different culture here. Historic culture with the Native Americans or more recent culture here. I mean, you have all that here you can really take in. And saying there's no culture in the U.S., it's not really true because there are all these different cultural centers with great museums like the Art Institute of Chicago or the Met in New York, the Getty in LA. There's all kinds of stuff you can see and do when you are here. For a cultural trip, it's not just seeing beautiful landscapes and seascapes like we are here in Connecticut. There's a lot more to it than that. Now, my next don't for you is one that I kind of get a lot of questions about. We actually have a video on this, and then that is, don't think that how are you or how's it going is actually a question. Look, when we say how...
We cover this quite a lot, isn't it? Same as here. We say
Yeah.
all right and stuff like that. Again, maybe, I don't know, maybe for France, because it has focused on like France and stuff like that and just other European countries pretty much.
Oh yeah, if you said that to my grandma, she'd
Be
expect
confused.
you to ask, like, to care about her, to ask how she's actually feeling.
Definitely. I feel like some of these points potentiate the rest of Europe because I feel like the UK are a lot more similar to the US, not only because we're obviously English speaking, but I think there's a lot more similarities between the UK and US than the other European countries, if that makes sense.
How's it going? How are you? These kind of things in the U.S. It's not a question, it's a statement. It's like saying hi. Okay, just take it as a hi. Because a lot of people say, everyone asks me how I'm doing. When I try to tell them how I'm feeling, they're like, well, I was just saying, how are you? Here, how are you is just hi. Think of it that way. It's like in France. Ça va? Ça va. How's it going? How's it going? We're good to go. In Portuguese, tudo bem? Everything good? You answer back, tudo bem? Everything good. It's just, how are you? How are you? You move on, okay? So don't think it's an actual question, all right? Now, another don't I have for you is don't expect a lot at the fancy hotels. You know, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to pay more money for this hotel. I'm probably going to get nicer stuff, like a nicer breakfast, better Wi-Fi. Oh, no. For some reason in the U.S., it seems like the nicer the hotel, the more you have to pay for the things you think would be free, like Wi-Fi and breakfast. So don't feel like you have to stay at the fancy hotels, because honestly, if you're going to be going out and exploring, you just need a couple beds, right?
I loved our hotel.
So stay at the hotels in the U.S.
beautiful,
The cheaper
wasn't it?
ones will
It was
give
like
you
one of the-
free Wi-Fi, free breakfast, all these kind of things,
Cheap
which
as
is really
possible.
nice. So don't expect that from the fancy hotels. Another don't I have for you is don't skip out on the local food. Look, we're here in New England. We're here in Connecticut. We've been having...
You know what? This is, again, I do apologize. We have paused so much in this video.
I love malls.
But I have enjoyed it. You do love malls. It is a seafood she likes.
It is.
Um,
And scarlet bread.
But I feel like in New York, that is something I kind of regret. We didn't really eat out of the local stuff, did we?
No, we just kind of... But I think because we were so busy, we were packing so much into the day to see everything.
We didn't really think about going
We just grabbed a
sitting
quick
into a
sandwich
local.
or, went to Pret and...
It was pretty
McDonald's.
much
We
just
quickly grabbed what we could.
fast food to go, so
Just
we could be on the move. But I do regret that because I imagine there were so many local
I think
places
if we
which
went
we missed out on.
we could slow down and just...
Oh, definitely. 100%. And
Enjoy.
wherever we go next,
Yeah.
we know all this as well, and hopefully you legends will be able to recommend some places when we do decide.
Yeah.
So we definitely will make the most of it.
lobster and clams and oh my god, New England clam chowder. Oh, my tummy is just like more. It's fantastic. And when I'm in the South, man, Southern fried chicken, mac and cheese, barbecue. Oh my God. The food in the different regions in the U.S. are great. So don't just go to chain restaurants. When you go to your hotel, ask them, hey, what's some local restaurants around here? What's some locally owned and operated restaurants, so you can go there and check out those places, because they really give you a great experience. And I find a lot of times those ones actually have better service than the chain restaurants, because it's a mom and pop place where the owner is the ones helping you out, and that is really kind of a cool thing. Now my next don't for you is don't get sick. Look. Healthcare in the U.S. is insanely expensive.
My legs
Just because you come from another country doesn't mean they're not going to find you for the bill. All right. So if you're going to be coming here, make sure you get travel insurance or trip insurance, so in case you do get sick or you do break.
Oh yeah, you've got to just, again, our health system is completely different. You've got to get the best travel insurance.
An ankle, or you do break an arm, or something happens to you, your insurance will cover it. Now you might have to pay it first, and your insurance pays you back, but at least you'll get something back, because healthcare here in the U.S. is insanely expensive, okay? So make sure you're prepared for that. And I guess my last don't I'm going to have for you is one that people actually got mad at me for when I lived in other countries, when I told them the U.S. has 50 states. And they said, no, the U.S. has 52 states.
I was culprit of this.
Don't think the U.S. has 52 states.
Why?
The U.S. has 50 states.
It's got 50,
okay?
not 52.
Just a heads up on that one. I'm sure that people are going to...
Did you think 52 as well?
I've always thought 52.
I'm not alone. I'm happy I'm not alone. Yeah, it definitely is 50.
What do you mean it doesn't have 50?
No, it's 50, but a lot of people say, again, that Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. potentially has been put in from other people who've said it, but they're not actually states. They're just like American territories and stuff like that. And then obviously Washington, D.C. is federal and stuff like that. Yeah. Washington is a state, but Washington, D.C. is obviously the territory. So maybe that's where it's come from, but I'm not alone. It weren't just me. It was you as well. Maybe you've heard it from me.
No, I feel like I learnt that at school.
Yeah, it's weird. I always thought 52 for some reason, but I've been pretty good at remembering it's 50 now.
I used to be so proud that I knew the answer to that.
Well, obviously it was wrong.
But my teacher was American
down below that when I was in school, they told me 52. No, there's 48 on the mainland, and then Alaska and Hawaii are 49 and 50, all right? So those are our don'ts for visiting the U.S. What are some of the don'ts you have for the U.S.? Because I know there's more out there. I just want to get some of these out there to help.
Let us know in the comments. That is pretty sure the end of the video. He's just wrapping it up. Yeah, there's I don't think we did any of them when we was in New York, did we? I feel like the only thing we potentially wouldn't have done was the tipping at the bar.
Yeah, because we couldn't drink anyway.
But we couldn't drink because we went when we were 18. 20 or
19.
19.
20,
so we couldn't actually drink when we was there. So we didn't get an opportunity to do that. But I feel like I wouldn't have done that just because I wouldn't have known. It's not something we do over here.
You just grab your drinks and go here.
You pay for your drinks and go. But we know for the future now, don't we? We know of them. I've really enjoyed this video. Some weird ones in there, which we definitely wouldn't do.
But things you wouldn't know, would you?
Exactly. So definitely good we've done this, and we'll remember it from when we do visit you absolute legends. Speaking of legends, be a legend. Smash that subscribe button, would seriously appreciate it. Hit that like button as well. This is a very long video, so if you're still watching, let us know in the comments and put, what's the putting hashtag to the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know, because Millie and you've been on my comments a lot, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I've been doing them as much as I can as well. So yeah, smash that like button, let us know in the comments, guys. Hashtag to the end, and we'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.